Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Jen and Sharon. Hi,
Jen.
Sharon. How are you?
Jinx. Buy me a coffee.
This happens all the time. Also, we text each other the same thing all the time. It's like we're sharing a brain these days because we've been working on some projects together, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yes.
But before that, I have to say, so some of you might know if you've watched us before that Sharon and I are both Trader Joe's shoppers. We enjoy a good shop at Trader Joe's. And I went yesterday. It had been a long time since I've been there. And I understand there are things going on in the world that might make it this way. But what the heck, people? What is going on at Trader Joe's? There's like no food there.
No.
The shelves are really, really, really thin. There's a lot of stuff missing. This is a big problem for me. I could not get their macaron.
Oh, the what?
Macaron. The little frozen treats.
We're being French now. Okay.
We are French. They're not macaroons. Those are two different things. I just need to educate people on this.
Those are the coconut things. The macaroons
are coconut things.
Yeah.
They come out of Passover because they're kosher. Okay, macarons are the little French sandwich things.
Yeah, those are delicious.
That if you get them at a real French bakery, they're like $8 for a little tiny thing. But at Trader Joe's, because everything's a good deal, you can get a nice box of assorted macarons. I don't know, a couple bucks. Not there. I mean, I looked and they weren't there. So, and that was just one example.
The supply chain disasters have hit
it is
Trader Joe's.
It's never a problem until it's a problem for you, right? And now I get it because I was so devastated to not be able to get my favorite things. Yes, I realize there are bigger problems in the world. But I will say, so here's the bright side. You know how sometimes you have to branch out a little bit, and I tried something new. So I'm trying it right now. It's instead of coffee. Let me see if you can see this.
It's yellow.
Yeah, it's this golden coconut turmeric beverage.
That sounds very immune system boosting or something. Aren't we supposed to have turmeric for that?
Yeah, it's good for inflammation. Oh, Deborah has comments. She has a thought.
It's going to snow on Friday. So Deborah, you're in Tennessee.
Oh my gosh, Tennessee snow, like you get to Kroger's or you're out of luck, right?
This is good to know. We're getting more snow tomorrow night. And I've had about enough of that.
Sharon, have you looked out your window? It's snowing right now, babe.
See that?
No.
I will not look out the window.
It's snowing right now. Yeah. But I mean, that's nothing. It snows every day here, Deborah. In the middle of July, we might have snow. No. There's really no excuse for why our shelves. I mean, it looked like the day before the Super Bowl or something when people have cleaned out all the frozen snacks. But that's not it. So I don't know what's going on.
There must be a party that we haven't been invited to.
Maybe. Oh, Deborah says she's actually back in Solon. So
Solon is in Ohio, actually pretty near us.
Yeah. So yeah, Deborah, let me just save you the pain. Don't go to Trader Joe's. It's a mess. Wait till they get it sorted out. Anyway.
All right.
So that's not really what we came here to talk about today. What? Remind me, Sharon, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about what worries us about the college process. So this is like a little vent fest today, it seems like, the way we've started. We've covered Trader Joe's, supply chain issues,
and snow,
the weather, and now we're going to go to applying to college, and I'm sure we'll cover a lot more complaints here. Not complaints really, but what is troubling us about, or has troubled us in the past about the college process. Mm-hmm. I have 3 kids. My oldest is a sophomore in high school, which means he's almost a junior in high school, which means it's getting real.
It really does get real fast. Yes. It gets real fast.
And Jen has one in college and one recently out. So this is fresh in your mind too.
A little too fresh. I might be still triggered by some of this, but we're going to talk about it anyway. And maybe I'll have some good things to share, because maybe some of the things you're worried about, I can say it's not as much of a problem as you think it's going to be. So let's start. Let's see what you got on your list.
All right.
What is keeping you up at night, Sharon Holbrook?
Before we bury the lead, the reason we're thinking about this is because at your team, Jen and I have been working hard with our colleagues at putting together this 8-week series on getting ready for college. So we have this very much on the brain in addition to our personal lives. Look who's joined us.
Oh, hello, Sue. Thanks for popping in.
Sue, welcome to coffee. We were just talking about the fact that we're working on this destination college 8-week series. And that's why we have on the brain what's really worrying us about the college process.
Okay, and let me tell you why we invited Sue. First of all, she's our friend and we like her. Secondly, she is our boss. So,
yes.
It's good. It looks good for us that we invited her. But mostly the reason I invited her is for your benefit, because she has sent 5 kids to college. So if she hasn't experienced it, it probably isn't to be experienced at this point. And she has great things to say. So that's why we invited her, just so you know.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here with you guys.
Good. So anyway, I also want to say, when we say 8 weeks, it's not like every day for 8 weeks.
No.
One session per week over 8 weeks. It's very digestible. Don't panic. We're not sending you to college. We're helping you send them to college. They'll do the hard work.
Yeah.
So we have a comment. You want to put that up?
I'm not going to put the whole thing up because it's going to block your beautiful face, Jen. But Brianna says,
go for it.
Quickly, Brianna has a 10th grader and she's been overthinking and stressing about college since 8th grade. Brianna, I hope you're coming to Destination College.
I hope so.
Oh, your daughter's stressing, not you. Oh my goodness. She's taken all the AP courses already, straight A's, but mentally I could see it taking a toll. We stress that college is not for everyone. Wow. And that is a hard thing when your kid is putting the stress on themselves too, for sure.
Right. Yeah, we feel you. That is so many kids. We hear this a lot, is that it's not so much the pressure coming from the parent, it's the peer pressure in the school system sometimes, where the kids feel like, all my friends are taking APs and they're all taking the ACT or SAT 5 times, so I have to do that too. And I think one of the things we learned, we did Destination College last year and parents had such amazing things to say about it. One of them was like, they took the stress off. They were like, oh, I know what really is important and what's not important now. And some of the, we talk a lot about, like, do they have to take every AP class? Spoiler alert. No, they don't. Testing, so many places going test optional. We're going to have experts who talk about what that means. So that might just take a little bit of the stress off of you, and you can share that with your teen and say, guess what? I really learned a lot about this, and maybe you don't have to be quite as concerned as you think you do.
Okay, so I put the link in the chat so everybody can take a look. There's lots of great information on that page, even if you're not sure whether you want to sign up yet. But the speakers are there and the topics are there. And Jen wrote really compelling and information about what we need to get. And our mission always is to reduce the stress, because the conversation around college has gotten out of control. We all know it. It causes sleepless nights. It makes us feel like we're a failure as parents. And we are here to tell you that there's no reason for that. Every one of our speakers is going to take the temperature down in the room. And the feedback we got from last year, I'm just going to read you one of them because it was really helpful for this mom. These college sessions have been excellent. My son is a junior, and I was just telling his guidance counselor earlier this week that every parent should be taking this course. I've gained so much knowledge from the panelists and have already utilized so many of the valuable tips they provided. I had no idea just how much content would be packed into these sessions. The panelists have been exceptional and very knowledgeable about the topics they covered. So that is so satisfying for us to hear, because it confirms our mission, which is to go out there and not get an email back that says, I was so stressed after taking your course, but says, I have practical tips to do right now, and they're working, and I feel so much better. If I'm thinking about the things that stressed me out, so much of it was about a social pressure to accomplish something. And it's a moment in time where you feel like if you're not there able to brag about your kid with everyone else, it's like a massive embarrassment. Or
I think a lot of parents feel like, I don't want to leave any stone unturned. Yes. And what is the magic thing that I might not be having them do that's going to either keep them out of their favorite, their top choice of college, or like, nobody told me. Like, I would wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night thinking, oh my gosh, should my kid have already taken 2 SATs? I didn't know. It was really very anxiety provoking. And as you said, there's no reason for that.
And one of my favorite stories was a mom who told me that she wasn't nervous about college, but then she started to get nervous that she wasn't nervous. And it's like, we cannot win. win. We can't win as parents. Like,
No.
it's important to hear what other people are telling us, because you might get the tip that like the deadline's tomorrow. But on the other hand, it's also important to not listen to some of the crazies.
Yeah, I was thinking about this, and we knew we were going to talk about this, and I was brainstorming, like, what is worrying me the most? And I found I had these contradictory things. On the one hand, I was like, I do worry that like other parents know what they're doing and they're going to do it better than me. And like, I'm missing out somehow. My kid's going to miss out because I'm not on top of what they should be doing at whatever stage. And another thing I was worried about is that I'm going to freak out too much and make the whole thing stressful and make all of high school about getting into college, which isn't what it is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about being in high school and being a teenager, growing in that space, not just about getting ready for college. So I'm like, I really do need this, because I have like these contradictory things, like just tell me what to do and reassure me, and then I can know that I'm doing that. We have some comments here.
Yeah, let's see.
Thank you, Mari. I'm glad I'm not alone here.
I suspect she's reacting to the I'm stressing about not stressing, and I'm stressing about stressing.
Yeah. And Brianna's saying society's telling them they have to do all the things if they stumble to keep pushing. And sometimes us parents, we feel that way too. We are trying to help our kids and maximize their chances for college and all this stuff. All right. Oh my goodness. I have to.
Lori.
I'm going to share one thought while you're reading Lori, so you can summarize it, because Lori's is great and very long. But I also want to say that doing all the right things doesn't guarantee the outcome you're hoping for. So just like do as much as you can. Get the great advice you can find, especially from us at Destination College, but then know that the outcome is not in your control. And that is a hard place to be. So when your kids are trying to do all the right activities and get the right scores and still feel good about themselves when it doesn't work out as maybe they had dreamt. And I had one of my kids who she did not perform well in the classroom or on the tests. Mm-hmm. And I really thought there was no college for her. And I had really come to terms with it. I really feel like college is not for everyone. There was a college for her. There's 4,000 colleges out there. There were many colleges. She actually applied well. She got into everywhere she applied. None of my other kids did. And she is doing great in life. So the moral of the story is we emphasize so much that final outcome as being determinative of our kids' future. And we know over and over again that it's just not true.
Yeah.
Do you want to summarize what Lori's?
Lori,
it's related to what Sue just said a little bit.
Yeah, Lori has some wisdom for us, because she has a freshman in college. So she's saying she remembers last February that this is a tough month for senior parents. At that time, her son hadn't been accepted into his #1 college. He'd filled out 13 applications, got into 12 of them, was waiting for that #1. And then he did wind up hearing and got in. Now, I'm sure, Lori, you would agree that even if the answer had been no on that #1, one of those other 12 you'd probably be here saying the same thing about one of those other 12. Because I think usually that is the way it works out, that, yes, kids make a life where they wind up going.
Absolutely. One of our guidance counselors told us that she hears all the time when kids come back and tell them after they've been in school for a while, they come back and they say, ones who went to the school that wasn't their top choice, they almost 100% of the time come back and say, I cannot imagine having gone anywhere else. The place I am is just the right place. It's perfect for me in every way. So there's more, there's more than one best option for them. There's so many good options, and
I can't remember.
Want to help them find them.
I can't remember if Jeff Salingo said this, but it's one of the people who wrote books recently about college admissions spoke about how it's actually what you get out of college. It's on you to where you go, and how much you make of it is much more important than getting into your first school. Your
totally first true. Totally true. So Sharon, tell me one more thing that's keeping you up at night, because you're in that hot spot right now, and Sue and I have the benefit of hindsight, but I think people might want to hear more about
only one more thing. How about I say two quickly?
Okay, you may have two.
One is making sure that my kid is doing the right things. I do want to think a little bit more about, this is basically, what's his application going to be? You know, what classes is he taking? What summer things is he doing? What extracurriculars? And how is that going to be all put together? And the other thing I think everybody's worried about is affordability, because I mean, you can do all the things. Your kid can be doing great. You can apply to the right schools, but then, you know, if you don't get the scholarships or financial aid that you need, then now what? So, you know, I know we're going to be talking about that in Destination College. So I
Definitely.
And I want to give one tip that I didn't know about, which did impact one of my kids. The dates don't overlap. They're not always the same date for the application and the ability to be considered for a scholarship. Mm-hmm. So pay attention to that. That's something that maybe you should help your kids with, because that's really disappointing.
Yeah, no, that's true. And that's something we will definitely talk about at Destination College. So we have a whole section where we talk about affording college and paying for college, and talking about merit aid in particular. That gets doled out in the first round. So you don't, even though there's an early deadline and a later deadline for applications, that is the kind of thing that, like, maybe as a parent,
I would never
create the
know
spreadsheet.
Yeah. I would not know that as the first time parent. If I wasn't working at your teen and working on Destination College, I wouldn't know any of that stuff. So
that's why you got to come, because we're going to tell you all these good things you need to know. And actually, we're going to have some fun while we do it too. It's not just going to be like an hour of you frantically taking notes. As Sue said, our goal is actually to take your temperature down. We always have fun. Come on. If they come to coffee with us every week, they know we always have fun.
Yeah.
And we promise we won't spend the whole time talking about what I can't find at Trader Joe's. I promise I will not do that.
And by March and April, it won't be snowing anymore, right?
Are you new here?
You want
to have one more comment to share before we wrap things up?
I think Brianna, did we share hers?
Go for it, Sue. Well, we
did share Brianna's, yes.
You guys are so great. You've been sharing so much good information. So I know that Deborah was saying that, reiterating that there is no one right school, and also apply for those scholarships in the local community in their own high schools. That's true. Don't forget, at $500 a pop, those things add up. That's like books for the semester. If you can get one of those smaller scholarships.
Yeah, absolutely. And the local ones are more likely they want to keep their dollars local. Whereas when you go on and they have like all those, there are websites where you can just troll through and find scholarships, but those are open to the whole universe of people. So it's like the lottery. You want a smaller pool to choose from. So if you're hunting for scholarships in your community, you're hunting in a smaller pool of people. Whereas when you go to those national ones that don't sound like they're too hard to get, there's just so many people who are also looking for them. So that's just one more little tip.
Jen, I just want to jump in on your choice of words, lottery, because I think the whole application process should be viewed as a lottery and taken away from anything personal. So, like, you know, you don't get into your school. You couldn't have done anything differently. Like there was like literally that day, someone just like was leaving the office and said, I pick him instead of her. So many people are showing up with the same exact, like, even perfect scores and perfect and A's, a 4.0 or a 5.0 if you took APs, and they're not going to get in. It's just there's too many great kids out there.
Yeah, so I think one of the great things about Destination College is it can give you a different way to wrap your head around the process, so that you understand what is achievable, what you can control, what you can't control, and how to maximize the things you can control. That's really what we're going to be delivering.
Yeah. And what should people do if they have questions? Can they email you, Sue?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it right in the chat right now.
And if you look at the link that your teen posted, that was Sue posting under your teen with the link, it gives you a lot of information too about what each of the weeks includes, what the who the experts are, and if there are more questions, do let us know. So.
And we want you to sign up now, because it starts March 8th, and you want to get on. You want to get in the process at the beginning so that you can get all the good information every week. If you can't come live, it's okay, because you'll get the recording. But the benefit to coming live is you can get your question answered from the expert, possibly. They'll take as many questions as we have time for in that hour and a half of each session. So that is something that's worth the price of admission right there, is to be able to ask your burning question directly to the person who knows what they're talking about. And so we hope you'll sign up and join us.
And every single week has the best experts you're going to find anywhere. I mean, really stellar people. We are an embarrassment of riches in this lineup. It's amazing.
We do love them. They're great people.
Don't forget, it's not as much fun as the experts, but the three of us will be there along with our friend Kamira. We'll be taking turns hosting and answering your Q&A. So we would love for you to join us.
Absolutely. All right. We'll see you back here for coffee next week. And it's hopefully not going to be snowing. And hopefully I will get all my Trader Joe's favorites back in the store by then. Please.
Your macaron.
My macaron. I need my macaron.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We loved having you. All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Bye.